To you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Niconsat. President Bola Tinubu has sought the National Assembly's confirmation of the new ministerial nominees announced on Wednesday. President Tinubu's request was contained in a letter addressed to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and read at the beginning of the plenary. He sought for expeditious consideration to his request by the Senate. The ministerial nominees, as contained in the letter, are Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Dr. Nentawe Yewatada, Minister of Labor and Employment, Muhammadu Megeri, and the Minister of State Foreign Affairs, Bianca Odinaka Odumegu Ojukwu, amongst others. President Bola Tinubu wants filling stations converted to compressed natural gas CNG outlets. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperekpe Ekpo, said this while addressing State House correspondent after the Federal Executive Council meeting. The minister assured that gas is available in large quantity and the only challenge was infrastructure to deliver the product to filling stations, adding that the president has directed that adequate infrastructure should be provided to ensure the delivery of gas to filling stations. Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, has visited the Secretary General of the World Meteorological Organization, Professor Andre Salu, to solicit operational support for the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. Keyamo stated this in a post via his X handle. He centered his request on the areas of capacity building and launching a national roadmap in respect of early warnings for all initiative by the United Nations, amongst others. The minister, accompanied by Director General of the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Professor Charles Anosike, Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, Ambassador Abiodun Adejola, amongst others, also requested the organization's support for NIMET in implementing digital climate advisory services for sectorial activities in Nigeria. The federal government has inaugurated a committee of law experts from various fields to review, update, and consolidate archaic Nigerian laws within 6 months. The law review and update are viewed as part of the ongoing effort of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to promote the rule of law and access to justice in line with the policy objectives of enabling socio-economic growth and advancing legal reforms. Inaugurating the committee, Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi asked the committee members to be meticulous in their execution of the task placed before them. Newly elected chairmen in last Saturday's local government election in Kaduna State have received their certificates of return from the Kaduna State Independent Election Commission. It is worthy noting that the local government polls generated mixed reactions in the state as opposition parties rejected the result declared by the state electoral body, which stated that the ruling party won all the local government areas and councillorship seats. During the presentation of the certificate at the Commission's headquarters in Kaduna, the Commission's chairman, Hajara Mohammed, stated that the election was conducted across the state in accordance with the Kaduna State Electoral Law 2024. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in Dr. Abdullahi Usman Bello as the new chairman of the Code of Conduct Bureau. The brief ceremony took place ahead of the Federal Executive Council meeting, which was also chaired by the president. Sharon Ajay has the details.
After the swearing-in, Dr. Bello spoke to State House correspondents, pledging to tackle corruption through the Bureau. He emphasized the importance of integrity and accountability among public officials, vowing to uphold the agency's mandate. He acknowledged the global nature to corruption, but highlighted the significance of having strong systems in place to mitigate it.
I always say that it's not about the individuals. Everybody can be corrupt in the world. It doesn't matter whether you are in the UK, whether in the US, everybody has a tendency to be corrupt. One of the most important things is the systems that we have in place to check it. So if we have the systems in Nigeria, we are going to deal with this problem. So I assure you that we have the systems, we have the institutions. We only need to deliver on the mandate that is given to us.
The CCB, Nigeria's foremost anti-corruption agency, has the mandate in ensuring that public servants act with integrity and avoid conflict of interest. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Oluwa Igbara Oke, Oba Adefara Agbede, says the traditional rulers in Ondo State have endorsed Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa for the November 16 governorship election. The monarch stated this while receiving the governor on a consultation and engagement visit in his palace at Igbara Oke, headquarters of Ifedore local government area, as part of campaign tour of the governor to the area. Kikelomo Okere was there for Global Television.
The Olowa of Igbara-Oke, Oba Adefara Komi Agbede, says Governor Ayedatiwa has listening ears and has displayed good character by treating the traditional institution in the state with utmost respect. The monarch says the achievements so far recorded by the governor in his 10 months in office are impressive, which shows that he will perform well if elected for a full term in office. According to Oba Agbede, the people of Igbara-Oke and Ifedore are solidly behind Governor Ayedatiwa and will vote him en masse on November 16. At the palace of Olujare of Ijare, the Shepetu of Ijare, High Chief Wemimo Olaniyan, speaking on behalf of the traditional rulers in the community, commended Governor Ayedatiwa for his achievement in short period of time. Olaniyan, however, appeals to the governor to prioritize the completion of Okeudu to Ijare Road and address other pressing community needs, pledging the full support of the Ijare community for his election.
Of SCDA Ijare, from the village of Ijare, Owa Obararomi, Eleki of Eti, Odet of Irese, the Alaye of Aye and the Kota, represented by one of our ICDA, they have keyed into the Ayedatiwa project, and we are promising that we are going to support you.
Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed appreciation for the warm reception and unwavering support from the traditional rulers and residents. He assures people of his administration's commitment to meeting their expectations. He emphasized that his administration development agenda is people-centered and promised that ongoing efforts across all sectors will continue to reflect the priorities of the people.
When you talk about grassroots mobilization for positive change, the traditional institution is very key because they reside with the people, they have them as their subjects, and they can easily communicate with them other than the other category of leaders. So that is why most of the time we pay homage to the traditional rulers, because this is where they dwell, they live among their people, and their people actually install them to lead them.
The governor was also at the palace of Alara of Ilaramoki, Oba Abiodun Aderemi Adefeyinti, who commended the governor's developmental efforts and the appointment of sons and daughters of Ifedore into key positions in government. The monarch also reels out the need of the community, which the governor promised to address. Addressing the residents who troop out to welcome him, the governor says his government remains focused on delivering lasting infrastructure and improved service that will benefit every citizen. Earlier, the governor performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of Ijare Central Market, a project aimed at boosting local trade and enhancing the economic landscape of the community. From Akure, Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has approved 75,000 naira as minimum wage for the state workers. The governor signed the new minimum wage into law at the Government House chambers in the presence of the President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC Joe Ajero, and other executives of the union. He also directed the state's Accountant General and the Ministry of Finance to begin the payment of the new minimum wage immediately, as the approval was in fulfillment of his campaign promise to improve the welfare of workers in the state. In his remarks, the NLC president commended Governor Idris for not disappointing the union over the minimum wage and other projects he had embarked upon in the state since he was elected. In the same vein, the Akwa Ibom state government announced a minimum wage of 80,000 naira for its employees. This was contained in a statement signed by the Commissioner of Information in the state. He explained that Governor Umar Eno had instituted an implementation committee to ensure the smooth operation of the policy. According to the statement, the 80,000 naira minimum wage announcement is a reflection of the government's commitment to the welfare of workers. Traders in Singa Market of Kano State have called on the federal government to provide a permanent solution to the persistent increase in prices of food items across the country. Global Television correspondent Idris Jibril reports that despite the availability of food items in the market, prices have continued to increase at an alarming rate.
This is Singa Market in Kano, the largest commodity market in northern Nigeria. Food items by the truckloads arrive here on daily basis, and there are over 150,000 people trading in Singa Market daily.
It is a kind of market that, serves at least Kano and the environs, and even some neighboring countries, actually.
We have Zone 1, which covered Bellarot, Zone 2, which covered Kandoki, we have Zone 3, which covered Adobayero Road, we have Zone 4, which covered Bella Dandago, and also Yulawa, Zone 5, which covered Bata.
Despite the viability and availability of food items in this market, Traders Union says hundreds of their members have shut down their businesses due to continuous price increase in recent times.
We encountered multiple increase, and some items even the prices of some items is even multiplied by 100% actually.
According to traders, increase in high cost of production, foreign exchange, poor government policies are some of the reasons responsible for the current economic hardship among Nigerians, leading to price increase virtually on daily basis.
Increase of forex, that's the dollar price. It is almost double from that period to date. Beside that one, there is an increment on the power also. So that's the second reason they are given. Beside that one, even the cost of labor, cost of production, everything.
For most Nigerians, however, unless the current inflation is controlled, high cost of production and transportation are reduced, the future of Nigeria's economic sector may likely continue to remain bleak. From Kano, Idris Jubrin reporting for Global Television News.
Welcome back from the break. The Defense Headquarters has confirmed the arrest of one of the founding fathers of the indigenous people of Biafra, Pius Igor. Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who confirmed the arrest during the bi-weekly briefing of the operational activities of the armed forces, explains that Pius is responsible for criminal activities in Osu area in Imo State. Sharon Ajay has the rest of the story.
It is another opportunity for the military to update the media on their operational activities across the country. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says troops are not relenting in the fight against terrorism, which resulted in the arrest of some key actors.
The troops of Operation Udoka, Forward Operational Base Osu, in a sting operation, apprehended a terrorist leader belonging to the indigenous people of Biafra and the Eastern Security Network terrorist group, known as Mr. Pius Igor.
The director says the ongoing military operations have successfully curbed large-scale oil theft, recovering over 1.75 billion naira worth of stolen crude oil in the past week.
During the week under review, troops neutralized 140 terrorists and arrested 135 of them, thereby destroying their fighting capabilities and weakening their military capabilities as well. The troops also rescued 76 kidnapped hostages, which is indicative of our commitment to guarantee the safety and security of citizens, which we will continue to do more of that.
The military high command further calls on citizens to continue to support the military's efforts, emphasizing the importance of collaboration in combating terrorism and illegal activities. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited commences payment of $6 billion debt to suppliers. Details of these, as well as foreign news and sports, coming right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. In business, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, has confirmed that the federal government plans to raise value-added tax, VAT, to 15%. This is just as he but clarified that the increase would primarily affect luxury goods. Speaking at an investor meeting during the ongoing IMF World Bank annual meetings in Washington, D.C., Edun explained that a bill currently before the National Assembly aims to gradually raise VAT on luxury goods, while essential items consumed by poorer and vulnerable Nigerians would remain exempt from VAT or attract a zero rate. He added that the list of essential goods exempted from VAT will be made available to the public in due course. The Federal Executive Council has approved 740 billion naira for the completion of the Kano-Abuja Road project. The approval was given during the weekly council meeting presided over by President Bola Tinubu at the State House in Abuja. Minister of Works Dave Umahi, who briefed State House correspondent after the meeting, said the government is working on managing the extensive backlog of infrastructure projects. He noted that Abuja-Kano Road, previously slated for a tax credit arrangement, will now be procured without such a provision, with the 162-kilometer Bega section already approved for 740 billion naira. The federal government and private sector stakeholders have called for the nationwide adoption of a market-led extension service model driven by micro, small, and medium enterprises as the sustainable solution for agricultural productivity. This was among the key issues discussed at the National Agricultural Extension Service Impact Sharing Workshop held in Abuja with the theme Innovations in Market-Led Extension Service Delivery in Nigeria. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, represented by the Director of Federal Department of Agricultural Extension Services, Dr. Diola Lord Banju, stressed the vital role of pluralistic agricultural extension services in achieving food sufficiency and transforming Nigeria's agricultural landscape. The minister noted that the MSSEs have being transformed into extension delivery firms through training and coaching. And that's how we call it a wrap on the news cycle. I am Anthony Momodu. Good evening.